So, a couple contracts. Let's see here. Well, the most current worst contract, I think of Angels had a couple. I'll start with the Angels off the top of my head. Now, the Anthony Rendon contract. That was... They paid this guy $240 million and they're still on the hook for 7 years. For a guy that had one big year. And then you wonder why baseball is shy about offering money to these idiots, these free agents, because they have a career year and then they, parlay that into a big fat contract. But Angels offered him $240 million right after the pandemic. Well, nobody knew the pandemic was coming. So they've been on the hook right now, 3 more years, $38 million. The guy's going out there talking a lot of trash about, baseball's just a job. He ain't even doing his job. He's in there freaking having one injury after another. The guy's 34. The Angels have no business paying anybody past that. Because if we didn't get the big years when they're in their 20s, when you hit 34, man, that's it, baby. Unless you're a real conditioned athlete and you have shown that you can play at a certain level, the Angels had no business doing that. So that is the worst. That right now ranks as one of the worst contracts. And because he hasn't played that much. Angels also had another contract they had to eat. Justin Upton. They got him late in his career. Eventually, the Angels just ate the last year or so of his contract just to get him the hell out of Anaheim. That was another one. The Angels did the same thing with Albert Pujols. Even when Albert Pujols was playing, before they cut him, I remember going to Anaheim, talking to the ushers, and they're like, "Oh, he should retire." I got to see him play as an Angel. And I got to see him later play as a Dodger. The Dodgers picked him up after the Angels cut him. The Angels were still on the hook for that last year of his 10-year contract. But they signed an old Albert Pujols when Albert Pujols was 30. He was 30, 31, 32. And they're suspect how legit his birth certificate is. Good morning, all. So there's 3 contracts, and that's just the Angels. Then there's the Josh Hamilton deal that the Angels did. I thought, they got Hamilton, maybe. Maybe he still has something left in the gas tank. Nope. And he ended up trading him back to the Texas Rangers, and that was it. Free agents, the Angels, back in 1979, 1980, they messed up. When they let Nolan Ryan go on a free agent deal, and he ended up in Houston. The Angels had him for 10 years. And most of his big career, hey bud, most of his big years, Nolan Ryan was with the Angels. Strikeouts. Most of his no-hitters. Some of the last 2 or 3, those weren't. But the Angels let him walk. That's Gene Autry, singing cowboy. The guy he's cheap. He didn't keep, I don't know, that would have been a different Angel team in the 80s. And they had Nolan Ryan. Then they had Reggie Jackson, Rod Carew. And they got to play 1 year together. Carew played 79 with the Angels. And Nolan Ryan was still there. All right, let's see another bad contract. Aaron Hicks is another horrible one. So somehow he got the Yankees to pay him $70 million, like a year and a half into that contract too, maybe. Correct me if I'm wrong. The Yankees said, forget it. And so the Angels picked him up, maybe as a fifth or fourth outfielder, Aaron Hicks. And the Angels are just paying the league minimum $700,000, while the Yankees are paying the rest of that $20 million a year. There's another bad contract, and that's the Yankees. But the Yankees, they're able to absorb things like that. The Angels don't want to absorb that. I think when they signed Trout, they basically and don't think, they had Ohtani, the Angels. That. Well, they weren't paying Ohtani jack shit. Excuse my language. Ohtani was making almost nothing. They paid the big posting fee to the Japanese team, and there might have been a signing bonus one time, and the Angels had him for 5 years until they had to pay real money last year in arbitration. Ohtani didn't win. The Angels just didn't want to embarrass themselves, so they just said, how about we give you $30 million? And Ohtani took it, won a second MVP in a row, unanimous MVP. Ohtani. People don't get fooled, by that one. And then I guess the granddaddy of them all is there's a couple out there. I think Chris Davis, he still has a contract with the Orioles, and he's still being paid. He hasn't played in like 3 or 4 years. You got Bobby Bonilla. That's the granddaddy of them all. Woo, Bobby Bo. So every July 1st, I think Bobby Bo would probably not accept the buyout from the Mets. It gets the Mets in the news, even though it's a little embarrassing. And Bobby Bo collects $1.1 million. And he hasn't played on a baseball field in 22 years. He hasn't picked up a bat. But he's still collecting $1.1 million. And I think Steve Phillips is the GM, from my understanding, from what I gather. And they moved that money over. Bobby said, all right, whatever. I'll be a team player. And he's getting that money till I'm going to retire. And I may almost be collecting Social Security. And Bobby Bo will still be getting $1.1 million from the Mets. That is a hell of a deal. I want Bobby Bonilla's lawyer's phone number. I want a deal like that. That is a financially structured, awesome deal. But like I said, that's the granddaddy of all these deals. Ohtani did the same thing, but his contract this year, $700 million. We're talking more than $750 million. I mean, he's almost $1 billion man, Ohtani, Shohei, and but he's worth it, man. I mean, I watched him play in Anaheim. I have many of his at bats that I saw. I recorded as many as I could. And the day he pitched, I have some really good photos of that. And I haven't shown you the photos, but I've shown you the video of that day. It was like he thought Elvis Presley was there. The way the crowd just rushed his bullpen session just to warm up. And I told my son, check this out, man. Check this out. This is electric, dude. This is lightning. This isn't like when all these other guys, Angels pitchers or the visiting pitcher takes them out. And I've seen a lot of, other pitchers pitch from other teams. The White Sox, the Rangers, the Blue Jays, the Mariners. Saw plenty of Mariners games and versus Angels, Oakland. But you see Ohtani, wow, different story. But anyways, this contract this year with the Dodgers, I don't say it's the worst one, but I'm using it as a comparison. But compared to that Bobby Bo deal, woo. So Ohtani is not getting the interest. He should have probably gone for 1%. But he's taking like a $2 million salary for the next 10 years. 2 million, 2 million, 2 million. I mean, he makes in endorsements, off-field endorsements. Shohei makes about 50, 60 million dollars in off-field endorsements from all the Japanese media markets, American. I mean, the guy is making in Asian contracts and Asian deals that he's got going. He's making another 50 million just on that. If Shohei learned a little English, or like Julio Rodriguez did, man, he could really make some cool ass Nike commercials and stuff, and really make some serious ducats, man. But anyways, his contract, $700 million. He's only getting $2 million, and the Dodgers are on the hook 10 years from now. So when I retire, Shohei Ohtani will be a young man of 39, 40, and he'll be getting a check from the Los Angeles Dodgers for, I believe, $58 million. 10 years. Just boom, 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 boom. Yeah, that's pretty. There's another good structure, and that's, I guess people, that's a loophole in the collective bargaining, but it is what it is, you know. I got a guy riding my tail. Let me see if I can. Oh, that guy's coming onto the highway, so I won't be able to tail him out. I'm cooking pretty good here, man. But let me move over so this Fulio can clear out his lane. So anyways, let's see what other bad contracts we have out there. Let's see here. Well, that Anthony Rendon's got to be the top one right now. I mean, it is the burner. And the Angels are on the hook for that. Aaron Hicks. You know the famous line from the movie Moneyball? When David Justice is sitting there taking his cuts in the underground batting cage, right under the stands. There's a lot of facilities down there. And he gets all cocky with Billy Beane, says, man, I don't know the way you handle it. He says, what? Because you've never had a GM that was a player before like you. He goes, well, the way you talk to him, he goes, and he gets all uppity with him. And he goes, let me tell you, man, the New York Yankees are not, I'm not paying you whatever it was, $7-8 million. The New York Yankees are paying your salary for them to play against, they're paying you that salary so you can play against them. He says, that's who's paying your salary. He says, I just need you to be a leader, he tells him. Great line from the movie Moneyball. And that was another bad contract. The Yankees were so sick and tired of David Justice, and he was just stinking up the joint, taking up a roster spot, that they cleared it. They said, man, they put him on waivers. Oakland grabbed him, and there you go. You know, took his spot. Let's see. And that's a good example. That's from a movie. If you guys ever get a chance to see that movie, Moneyball, check that scene out where the baseball contract is discussed, and David Justice gets a little tongue lashing for the GM, Billy Beane. All right, what else we got? Well, we got the Rendon deal. Rendon just doesn't know when to shut his mouth up, man. He shut his mouth up. Same thing, I guess, would be with President 45, and just close your mouth. People wouldn't have so much vitriol. But going back to specifically Rendon's contract, he still has 3 years left. All the Angels can hope for is that he plays better, shuts his damn mouth up, and just plays baseball. But he's an idiot. He's a jerk. I didn't know what a jerk he was. And, he's a clubhouse cancer. So yesterday the big talk was Jonathan Papelbon was on foul territory, and he let rip on freaking Rendon. But he was also a cancer, they say. when he was in the clubhouses, Papelbon. But at least Papelbon delivered, and he called him out, said he's a cancer. He says, he made a good point. He goes, look, he's already telling these guys, you're not important to me. I'm just here. So the other guys are like, whatever, man. So, and then, everybody mentions Trout. You know what? I got Trout rookie cards and all that crap, yeah. But my issue with Trout, he's not a leader. He's not rah-rah. I got into it with some idiot on Instagram the other day. He called me a snowflake. I said, well, you can call me a snowflake, man. You're the one who replied back after I told you nobody wanted to hear your damn opinion. Because he gave me this friggin' essay, man. Talking about Trout, talking about Bryce Harper. I think, you know what? Trout is not Harper. He's not Derek Jeter. He doesn't have that fire in the belly. Is he a hell of a player when healthy? Oh, man. Individually, so was Harmon Killebrew, man. Hall of Famer. So was Ralph Kiner. Hall of Famer. But so was Mike Schmidt. Mike Schmidt wasn't like it was Pete Rose. Mike Schmidt was there forever, but he didn't like lead the Phillies into a championship. It wasn't until they got Pete Rose. And they got that cast of characters in 1980 where the Phillies were like, yeah. But anyways, Trout's not that rah-rah guy. Trout he's a hell of a player. When healthy, Mike Trout is one up, but he doesn't rah-rah it. Shohei was quiet and did his thing. And he played hard, expected everybody to play as hard as him or as good as him. But the Angels just had a bunch of AAAers. I remember one game I went to. It was during Shohei's first MVP year. First unanimous MVP. The year before Judge won it. But I'll continue with that. Shohei's second. I think he had pitched. And then after they pulled Shohei out, you're looking at the lineup going, who the hell are these guys? It was like, I mean, they didn't even have Kurt Suzuki even starting. There's just a bunch of 4A players. Not even AAA, it was 4A. Too good for the AAA, but really not anything special for the major leagues. And Trout was injured like he's been for the last 6 years. Trout is not, even the year Trout won the MVP, I think he was injured. He won it in, Trout hasn't won an MVP since the teens, since the 20 teens. We're now in 2024. So 20, 21, 22, 23, and now 24. We're in the 5th year of the 20s. And he's pushing 33 years old. I wish I was 33 myself, but as a baseball player, that's kind of, you're kind of up there. I mean, unless you can maintain that. But, yeah, that's Trout. So Shohei, yeah, they pulled him out, and there he was. Yep. What are the baseball contracts? I'm blanking out at the moment. You guys throw me some baseball contracts. What other contracts are out there that are bad? I mean, currently I think of Aaron Hicks because the Angels picked him up. The Angels they picked him up because they got nothing to lose. $700,000 is nothing. And they at least have a major league player caliber. And if he is anything of his former self, he'll do really well. Angels will be happy with his production. And then they got that Rendon contract. Nobody wants that Rendon contract. Nobody's going to eat $37 million. The Angels are going to have to cut him, eat the contract. Rendon, because the greedy son of a bitch, isn't going to retire, even though he hates playing baseball now. So he's not going to retire because he wants to get paid $38 million. His old lady's probably telling him, you're going to go out there, and he's going to go, I'll go out there and I'll talk all the shit I want. And that's what he's been doing. And so, but yeah, only an idiot would throw away $38 million a year. And the Angels backloaded it. should have uploaded it, so that way they have less leverage now. So that way there wouldn't be 100 million still left on this godforsaken Anthony Rendon contract. I mean, that's just ridiculous. The Angels right there. Totally ridiculous. But those are the Angels. And then, you know what? They didn't sign anybody. I know Boris has 6 guys out there. The Angels, I think, they finally have they ate that Albert Pujols contract, like I mentioned earlier. They ate it. I was surprised they ate it. And the Dodgers took a chance on Pujols, and then Pujols signed a 1-year deal with St. Louis. And then let's see what else. The Upton, they had to get rid of that contract. That thing was just annoying as heck. And he wasn't being productive. Justin Upton. He has been. Trout falters by June and July. I tell you, man, he's on the trade block. He's on the trade block. Nobody wants. Maybe they feel they can rehabilitate him, and I don't know why Trout's in there punishing himself. I'm pulling to McDonald's real quick, guys. Grab me a little drink. I gotta pick up my son today, early from school. He already told me what time to pick him up. Well, anyways, I'm gonna let you guys go. Thank you for joining me. CB out. Thank you. We'll talk tomorrow. Bye-bye.